Hi everyone, welcome to JC's quiz show. I'm JC. In today's episode, we're going to have Brad and Brett in the grand final for the week to determine the overall winner. Are you guys excited? Are you pumped up for this?
Yeah, I've never been this excited.
So really,
Okay,
I
cool.
haven't beat Brett yet in my individual rounds against him. I've lost every time.
That's not going to
That
change,
might
Brad.
be an omen of things to come. We'll see.
I think we'll see.
There isn't actually any prize money for today's final, but the round is going to be about currencies, and it's more specifically is going to be about dollars. The United States dollar is the most famous dollar and is often used as currency in lots of other countries as well. However, lots of countries around the world also choose to name their currency the dollar. For example, Australia have Australian dollars. So I'm going to give you the name of a dollar, and you've got to tell me true or false if it's a real currency or if that country actually chooses to call their currency something else. For example, if I said the British dollar, that would be false because we have the pound. Okay? Brad first. The Kiribati dollar from Kiribati, do they call their currency the dollar or do they call it something else?
Never even heard of that place.
Never. Where is that?
I've no idea.
Oh. Okay, so the place doesn't exist, so I'm going with no.
I'm afraid it's actually true. They do call their currency the dollar. So Brett's next.
Obviously.
The Tuvaluan dollar in Tuvalu. Do they call their currency the dollar or do they call it something else?
You're making these up. Where do you know where that is, or?
Oh, well, I could Google it.
No, you're right. I'm gonna say yes, they use the dollar.
That is correct. They do have their own dollar.
Yes.
Brad, the West Caribbean dollar. Is there a West Caribbean dollar?
Right. Well, the Caribbean was famously discovered by British privateers. So I have no idea. I'm going to go with no.
You're actually correct. It's not. There is, however, an East Caribbean dollar. So it's
They
1
weren't
point.
founded by the British, that's why.
Yeah. So it's 1 point each so far. So Brett,
Hello.
the British Virgin Islands dollar.
Oh,
Is it a real currency?
is this a trick question? I'm gonna say no, it's not real.
I'm afraid it actually is. You'd think with the name it might be the pound or something, but it is. They do call it the dollar. So it's still 1-1. Brad's looking excited.
I'm so happy.
So Brad, it's not over yet. Still 2 more questions to go.
I know.
So Brad, the next one is the Turkmenistanian dollar from Turkmenistan. Do they call their currency the dollar or do they call it something else?
I'm going with yes. They do.
I'm afraid it's not true. It's actually the the Turkmenistan manat is their currency in Turkmenistan. So Brett, if you get this one right, you win the quiz this
Oh
week.
no.
If you get it wrong, it'll go to a tiebreaker.
Do I come back for like a Champion of Champions round sometime?
Maybe sometime, yeah. That'd
It's
be
not
cool.
University Challenge, Brett.
Okay, so Brett, the Togo dollar. Does Togo have their own dollar?
I'm gonna wager that, based on my vast knowledge of Togo, they, in fact, do use the dollar.
I'm afraid they don't. They actually use the West African CFA franc. That old chestnut.
Shortened to dollar, surely.
So, for the tiebreaker question, I'm going to ask you both the question and the closest answer wins. Okay? So, the question is, how many different dollars are there in modern circulation? I know this because I went and looked them all up for this round. So, closest guess wins.
This is where Brett excels. He always wins at this randomized guessing round.
Guessing numbers.
Well, do you want to go first then?
No, because that didn't work for me last time. After you, Brett.
Okay, I'm gonna go for 47.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to go with 46.
And the correct answer is actually 28.
Oh.
So Brad wins. Brad's the grand champion for the week. Congratulations,
I'm so happy.
Brad.
I'd like to thank my mother. I'd like to thank all of my friends. I'd like to thank Brett for being a terrible winner. And I'd like to thank you, JC, for inviting us this week.
No problem at all. So I will see you next week with 4 new guests. I will see you then. Hi everyone, thanks for watching today's episode. If you would like to see more from either of my guests, then you can click the boxes above my head to go to their channels. There's also a big red button over there where you can subscribe to this channel to keep up to date with all the latest episodes, as well as following me on various social networks which will do the same thing. All the links are also in the description if you happen to be on a mobile, and you can click this box I'm in at the moment for the next episode, which there will be a clip of now. The next gift was a peacock. Now, was there 1 peacock or was there 7?
I mean, like, partridge and peacock have the same thing, but a peacock and a pear tree seems weird.
A partridge doesn't?
I mean, a partridge is a bird, right? Like a bird in a tree, but a peacock is a ginormous bird. When was the last time you were like driving down the road and you just saw a peacock chilling in a tree?